friends, and welcome to Edupedia World Videos. This is the course Linux Operating System Basics with Vagish Kumar, and in this particular video we'll proceed ahead and learn how to use the Linux command line interface. So first of all, we will show you how to set up your environment for using the Linux command line interface. Where in Linux command line interface there are different types of shells that are available that you can use. Okay, so one of them is the bash shell, other one is the K shell and the C shell, and there are many other shells that we can use. So what is a shell? Basically, the shell is Linux command line interpreter. Okay, so whatever commands you type into Linux console, it interprets them and performs the desired actions as per the commands. So that is a shell. Okay, so now we will be using the bash shell. Bash shell is the most basic version of the shell that we will find, and it is the most common also. So we will be using the bash shell, and mostly this is what is used in Linux these days. So, to open your terminal application, so terminal is the default application that is given by Linux to get into the bash shell command prompt. Okay, so just like in Windows you have the command prompt, you write cmd in the run dialog box and it will open up and you can enter the DOS commands. Similarly, in Linux you will have a terminal. To open a terminal there are various ways. One is simply go to applications, and then it is inside my favorites also because I have opened it 1 or 2 times. So this is an intuitive interface just like the Windows 10 interface. So whatever application you use more frequently will come up into your favorites. Otherwise, if you don't have it in your favorites, you will find your terminal inside the utilities section over here. And another way to run any program is to type the Windows key on your keyboard. Just press the Windows key and just press the Windows key on your keyboard, and what will happen is that you will get a type to search option. Okay, you will also have a small shortcut bar over here also. Here also you can see various applications, and you can also type here any application's name to search. Like I want to open terminal, I will type terminal and it will search whatever applications will match that particular name, it will come. And suppose I want to open the GNU image manipulation tool, so I can write GIMP, it will come over there. Then if I want to open the settings, then I can just start typing and it will continuously show. So it is a progressive search. So as you type on, it will keep on searching for that particular application. One more thing that I would like to tell you about Linux is that it has multiple desktops for you. Okay, so unlike Windows, which has only one desktop by default in the normal license, Linux has multiple desktops. So what does that mean is, suppose in this particular desktop I drag this Firefox icon and Firefox has now opened up on my desktop. So on another desktop, what you can do is you can open some other window, and to switch between desktops, it is known as workspace. The desktop in Linux in this case is known as workspace. So just click this 1/4 option over here and go to workspace 2. So it is right now empty, there is nothing over here. So here you can open some other application. Like I open a GIMP program over here. Okay, so if you want to switch to your another desktop, all you have to do is either press Windows key and it will show you the various desktop options, and you can switch between them from here. Okay, otherwise you also have another option to click over here and go to a particular workspace as per your choice. Okay, so this was about multiple desktops in Linux. Now we shall talk about the terminal. So 2 ways I have told you. That another way of opening a terminal is right click on your desktop and click on open in terminal. So it will open the terminal over there. Okay, so now what we have to do is that from here we can run various commands of Linux, and one of the basic commands is pwd, which tells you that present working directory, at present at which directory you are on your terminal. So it is showing that it is inside root and inside the desktop directory, because we opened the terminal inside desktop. We right clicked on our desktop folder and then we chose the option to open in terminal. That is why it has opened terminal in the desktop directory, and to change the directory I can use the command cd and so on. So we will learn these commands in detail in a matter of few minutes. Till then I'll tell you how to access your virtual machine from your Windows system, okay, because that is also important, and it is a more faster way to access doing that. Right now you are actually doing everything on the console of your virtual machine, okay, but when we talk about Linux CLI, it is much more than that. Instead of going straight away to your Linux system and opening it from there, another option is to use a Windows machine, which you can use to connect your Linux system and then work from there. So there are a number of command lines. SSH clients, SSH is secure shell, so it is nothing but a remote way to connect to your Linux shell, okay. So to do that, what you need is you need to install one software that is known as Putty. So that you need to install on your Windows system. That is a SSH client, secure shell client for Windows. So I'll show you how to download that and how to install that. So first of all, let's just come out of the full screen mode by pressing the right control. Okay, so once you come out of the full screen mode, just open your browser and I will tell you what to do. Open this website www.putty.org, putty.org. So Putty is an open source and free to use SSH client. Okay, so you can use this on Windows to connect to your Linux machine, remote Linux machine. Although our Linux machine is also a virtual machine which is installed on our same Windows system, okay, yet it is acting as an independent machine. Okay, so it is just an emulator, you can say. So a virtual machine is being emulated on your system, so it is a separate machine from your actual Windows system logically. Okay, so to connect to it, you are connecting to it over a network. Okay, either you can use the terminal of that virtual machine, which you can find over here from Oracle Virtual Box. Okay, this is you can just right click it and you can run it from here, and you can to see this terminal you can just click show. So this is the terminal. So this is just you can say analogous to the monitor, physical monitor that is connected to the system. But if you want to access it over network, what you have to do is you have to use a SSH client. So either to access it through UI, through user interface, you need a VNC client, okay, but that is not the part of our scope right now. We need to learn CLI commands more, so we will be using the SSH client to access it through CLI. Okay, so I'll tell you how to do that. First of all, download this particular software, which is PUTTY, okay, and it is an SSH and Telnet client for Windows. So download it, just click this particular link, and over here I'll tell you to download which file. So okay, these all are the files which are available to download. Okay, so although you can just download simply this putty.exe file and it will work for you, but some cases what happens is that exe files are not downloadable on network. So either your firewall is stopping it, maybe your home firewall is stopping it, or your antivirus is blocking some download of exe files, because exe files can be dangerous for your system in case they have some viruses or malware. So it's safer to install this putty.zip file. Okay, just click over it and it will get downloaded on your system. So once the download is complete, you just have to extract this particular file, and when you will extract it, you will have all these binaries or executables available. So there you have to run this putty.exe file and it will help you to connect to your remote Linux system. So now the download is almost complete. So I'll just open it, I'll click over it and it will open up, and then I'll extract all these files to a particular folder, to a separate folder. Okay, I'll extract it to a separate folder. Say in my D drive I'll make a folder named as Putty, Putty, and I'll have to click a new folder over here. Okay, so it has created a folder already, so I don't need to create this new folder. I'll just make it into this Putty named folder. Once I click OK, it will get extracted. So to open this, I'll open my D drive, okay, and the newly created Putty folder. So here you can see all these binaries have been extracted, exes have been extracted. So you have to run this exe putty.exe. Once you run it, it will show you various options. Okay, so the only thing that you have to do is you have to enter the IP address for your virtual machine or your Linux machine if you are using a separate Linux machine and you still accessing using a Windows system. So download Putty and then enter the IP address. So to enter the IP address, we first need to know the IP address of this particular machine. So to know the IP address, just open a terminal on your console and write ifconfig. So this is a command which we'll be doing in detail later on, but for the time being, just know that it is used to display the network information, network configuration information, and it can show your IP address. So this is the loopback interface which we don't need to bother of. We only need to bother of the first interface, that it is showing an IP address which is familiar to us, which is 192.168.1.40. So we have to remember that our IP address is 192.168.1.40. okay, so in case you are not too well versed with networking basics, I'll tell you that what an IP address is. An IP address is similar to your phone number. Like your phone number can be used to call to your particular phone over the telecom network. Similarly, the IP address is an address that can be used to access a particular machine over the internet network, okay. So on the internet there are some unique sets of IP addresses. So but this particular IP address is our local IP address, which is just limited between my laptop and my router, my Wi-Fi router. So my Wi-Fi router is further allocated an IP address which is on the public domain by my ISP, which is my internet service provider. Okay, so that is a different scope altogether, but remember that an IP address is an address which is used as your identity to reach to for other computers to reach to one particular computer through a network, through a local area network. Okay, so similarly, the IP address we have seen for our virtual machine is this one, 192.168.1.40, and we are connecting to our virtual machine over the SSH. So leave this port as it is. You make sure that SSH is selected over here. Okay, the port will come by default. If I change this particular thing, the port will also change itself. So remember that SSH is the port that I want to connect to, and port will be 22 by default. And you can also save this session for future use, so it will appear over here on this tab. So if you want to save it, you can save it as Linux VM1. okay, and in case I save it, it will get saved and come listed over here. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to open the virtual machine, but although it might not open straight away because we'll have to do a little network tweak. No, it is opening. So in case it does not open, I'll tell you what to do in that case. So log in as root. So my username, is root, and you have to enter the password whatever you kept for your system, Linux system, during installation. So I had kept CentOS 123, so that is what I am entering for root, and it has now this client. Right now I am able to log in successfully, and now you can see that your present working directory, as we did in the command pwd, is root. Okay, so just for making it the view more clear, what you can do is you can perform some changes in your settings. So go to, just right click on the top, on the title bar of your Putty window, and here go to change settings. Okay, first of all click on Windows and come to colors. Okay, so in colors you can click on use system color. So what this will do is this will change your color theme and it will make it a little more visible. Instead of the black background, now it will use the white background. So just tick it and click it for use system colors. Apart from it, you can also go to appearance over here and change the size of your font. So right now it is 10 sized font, but let us make it 16 so that it is clearly visible to all of us, and it will also have a clearer view in the video recording. Let us try this if it is fine. Yes, so it is a lot better than earlier. So here, this way you can change these settings, and you can also save these changed settings. To save it, just go to session. Okay, and then you have to click the name of your session. So you will not be having so much of sessions, you will have only one session. This is because I had earlier saved a lot of sessions, that's why it is there. So just click on your particular session and click save. Once you save it, then whenever you open a new window, you will find the same settings. So to open a new window for the same settings, what you can do is right click on your title bar for the same server. You have to just click on duplicate session and it will again log into your same machine. So you can give your username and password and it will log into your virtual machine, which is 192.168.1.40. okay, so this is how we actually create our Linux learning environment. So we have now, what we have done is we have chosen a particular prerequisites, whatever particular prerequisites that we needed for our system, which is like we needed a system, we needed a laptop, or whatever hardware we needed. So out of those, what we have chosen is we have decided to use our existing system, existing Windows system, and over it we have installed our Linux, we have installed a virtual box, okay, Oracle virtual box, on which we have created a virtual machine, so that we don't need to do away with our basic Windows installation of our system, because it is actually difficult to spare a particular system for installing Linux altogether, because you have some tasks that you want to do on Windows also. So this is a nice alternative. These days you can install a virtual box, configure a virtual machine over that, and install Linux operating system, and then use your Windows to log into that particular Linux operating system. So here you can see that we can log in through our Windows using the Putty client. So now in our further videos we will start learning all the Linux commands and we'll do a hands-on exercise. Okay, so I hope that this much of thing is clear to you and you have enjoyed coming this far in the journey of Linux. Now the exciting journey is about to begin, as we'll be starting with the various Linux commands. So thanks for watching this particular video and continue to watch the course Linux Operating System Basics. Thank you.